quick tutorial over how to use Google Keep. This tutorial will be more focused on how teachers can implement Google Keep in their classrooms, whether it's for themselves or for their students. Anyways, let's get started on how to take a note. So if you look at the top of the screen here, there's this big box that says take a note. So if you click there, you realize you have two different options. You can title the note, and you have the actual body of the note. So let's say you're a teacher that teaches math. So your students in your class can title their notes whatever subject you're going over for that day. So let's say it's slope. So they can title it slope, and then they can click here, and they start taking the notes over slope. So let's say they're going through the lesson, they hear rise over run a lot, maybe they hear why intercept form, and so on. So whenever they're done with the notes, they just simply click out of the box and it'll add the note. So now let's look over some ways they can customize this. So if you look over here at the paint board, you see change color. And you can just change the background of the note color. Now this might be useful for students who have like the visually inclined and they like to organize their notes different colors for maybe different subjects or something like that. They can also add an image. So if they have an image added to their desktop, they can just click add image and then select that image and it'll be uploaded into this note. Now if you look over here, you see this more option with these three dots. If you click there, you have all these different options to also customize your note. So let's look at add a drawing real quick. So we were going over notes, so a good useful thing to do as you're going over slopes is to graph it. So right here you can change it to a square format for this drawing. You can click your pen, you have all these different colors to select and how bold and how big you want the pen to be. So we want this, and this makes this useful so we can just maybe draw a graph, draw a line here, and they can add this to the notes, and maybe they're looking at this point, and then oh, okay, so it's rise over run, so I go up one, and I go over one, so that's going to be 1 over 1, which just equals 1. So that's a good thing to do while they're taking their notes, because you can't really do that with just the basic keyboard functions. Now once you're done with their picture, they just simply hit this back button, and then click out, and that picture is added to their notes. Another feature I want to look at is the checkbox function. So if you click show checkboxes, right away it shows these different kind of like a checklist to form. Now this could be useful for your students, let's say after class and they were reviewing their notes and they say, okay, I want to go over rise over run, check, I got that. It's just a useful tool to use as they're going over their notes. Now I also look at the benefit of adding a label. So if you click that more button here, you can also add a label. Now this is super useful for students so they can categorize their classes together. So like for instance, they want to do math, and they create math. Now they have this separate section. It's all for their math classes. So all their math notes will be right here, not grouped together in this big note page. Now for teachers to use this tool, they can also, like I have here, class periods. So maybe you have your different periods, what you can do in each period for the day. And you have the little checkbox function here, so you can go over the test, start the lesson on equations, remind students about their permission forms. So it can also just be a useful tool for teachers as well. So two other functions that this Google Keep has is remind and collaborate. So if you look at our notes here we made over slope, you can go down here to this little button at the bottom left, and it's remind me. And you can pick a date and time that you want this note to pop up. So for instance, say they have a test the next day, so they want tonight at 6 p.m., they wanted to remind them, like, hey, study for this slope. The other function they can use is collaborator. And if you click collaborator, say students can enter emails of other students, so say they have a friend that was absent that day, and they can just easily share their notes with that friend. Anyways, this was a quick tutorial on how to use Google Keep. Now, there are a few other features that I didn't touch on today, but this should give a good idea of a starting point. Anyways, thank you for watching.